If your mind is still moving, you do not have to fight that here. If thoughts are looping, blending, or talking over one another, nothing is wrong. You are not doing this badly because your mind has not gone quiet. A restless mind is still welcome. A full mind is still welcome. Even a crowded, unfinished mind is welcome. Sometimes thoughts do not arrive one by one. They come in pieces. They overlap. One thought begins, another interrupts, and another lingers underneath. They can repeat themselves. They can blur together. They can keep moving without asking permission. Nothing about that means anything has gone off course. It only means the mind is active in the way minds sometimes are. It can be busy and still be safe. It can be noisy inside and still be held with kindness. You do not have to push any of it away to belong in this moment. There is no need to brace against that right now. No need to sort every strand. No need to make each thought finish neatly. Nothing needs to settle right now. I am here with you in this, just as it is. You do not have to clear space before you are allowed to rest here. You do not have to earn ease by becoming quieter first. Even this mind, this busy mind, can be met gently. If the thoughts keep circling, they can circle. If they keep blending into one another, they can do that too. If one part of you is tired of thinking, and another part keeps thinking anyway, that also belongs here. Nothing is asking you to fix it. Nothing is asking you to become different for this moment to hold you. You are safe with an unsettled mind. You are still allowed softness here. I am not turning away from the part that keeps speaking. I am staying beside you while the mind keeps moving in its own uneven way. Even now, with nothing resolved, you are still welcome here. So if the inner conversation is still going, let it be an inner conversation. If it is messy, it can be messy. If it is unfinished, it can be unfinished. Nothing needs to settle right now. For now, it is enough that you are here, and that nothing about this moment has to be forced. So even now, the mind does not need a job. It does not need to sort itself into neat lines. It does not need to explain what it is doing. A thought can arrive, and nothing has to happen next. Sometimes the pull to manage, it is very quick. The forehead may gather around it. The breath still moves, and the thought does not have to be finished. Another thought may come only halfway. A phrase, a memory, a worry without an ending. The jaw may want to hold on to it for a moment. The breath still moves. That one does not need an ending either. A thought may repeat itself, asking to be followed again. The chest may tighten around the urge to track it, to understand it, to bring it somewhere clear. The breath still moves. Nothing requires you to go with it. Then another thread may appear with no clear meaning at all. The shoulders may lift around it, almost from habit. The breath still moves. That thread can stay loose. It does not need to connect to anything. You do not have to keep up with every thought. You do not have to gather each piece and make a whole shape out of it. You do not have to remember where one thought started or where another one was going. Thoughts can be broken off. They can fade in the middle. They can loosen before they make sense. You are allowed to leave them where they are. Half said, half known, half gone. Not every inner sentence needs a full ending. Not every question needs an answer before you can rest here. And if part of you still wants to organize the mind, that part is welcome too. Even that effort can soften a little. Even that reaching can rest. Nothing is asking you to become careless. Only less burdened, Some thoughts will remain unfinished. Some will pass without meaning anything at all. Some will begin and dissolve before they become clear. All of that is allowed. A mind does not need to complete every movement it starts, so the pressure can ease here. The need to monitor can ease. The need to make sense of every fragment can ease. Your breathing can go on by itself. The body can rest a little more heavily where it is held. And thoughts can keep passing in their own unfinished way without asking anything more from you tonight. And maybe now, without trying to sort anything, you can begin to sense the mind as one continuing movement. Not one thought here, then another thought there. More like something already moving, even when you do not follow it. A line that does not stay a line for long. An edge that softens as soon as it appears. One shape leaning into another. You might picture it very simply. A quiet movingness. Something passing and joining and passing again. A thought rises for a moment before it has fully formed. Another one touches it. They meet. They blur a little. What seemed separate loses its hard outline. The first one is still there and already changing. The next one arrives before the last one has gone. Nothing needs to untangle them. They can move together. You do not have to hold one still to know it was there. It can simply pass through in contact with the next. And again, something flickers up in the mind. A word, perhaps. A feeling of a word. A half memory. It does not remain by itself. it spreads into something nearby. Another fragment moves through it. They overlap for a breath. They lose their corners. What was one thing becomes more than one thing, then less distinct than either. Still moving, still blending. Still not asking you to step in. And if you notice it anywhere in the body, it may be only this. The chest not needing to brace so much around each passing piece. The breath continuing underneath the blending. One thought touches another. They gather for a moment. They thin again. Nothing is wrong because they do not stay distinct. You are not doing this badly when it all feels mixed. You can be fully all right here, inside that soft merging. Even the thoughts that seem sharper at first do not stay untouched. They soften as they move. They meet other thoughts. They mix with mood, with memory, with passing sensation. A little tension in the chest. A faint sentence. A small worry. All of it moving through the same gentle continuity. And once more, a thought begins. Not alone. It begins already touching what came before. It carries a trace of something else. It gathers, then thins. It drifts into another strand. It dissolves without needing a clean finish. Then another movement is here. Not separate, only continuing. Another trace can come through just as lightly. Not a full sentence. More like the beginning of one, already meeting what lingers nearby. It brushes past mood. It brushes past memory. It loosens into the same unbroken motion. Nothing in you has to make it clearer before you are allowed to rest near it. So the mind can be felt this way tonight. Not as pieces to arrange, not as events you have to catch one by one. Just this ongoing merging. This passing into passing. This soft continuity that does not pause for perfect meaning. And you can rest near that feeling. Let it keep moving on its own. Let thoughts meet and thin and mingle in their own way. Let the whole inner motion remain unbroken, even when no single part is followed for very long. And maybe, as that unbroken inner motion keeps moving, you can let it become even less defined, less sharp, less finished, not lost, only softened. A thought does not need clear edges to be allowed here. It can arrive as only a trace. A faint shape in a slow stream. Picture that stream very simply. Wide enough to hold whatever passes through. Quiet enough that nothing has to hurry into form. A fragment touches the water. Perhaps only part of a word. Perhaps the feeling of remembering without the memory becoming clear. And as it moves in that stream, its edges loosen. It blurs a little more. It softens a little more. It does not fail by becoming vague. It simply keeps moving. Sometimes it may seem like a little dimness moving over the water. Not dark, only indistinct. present before it ever becomes readable. And the stream receives that too. It carries even this soft dimness without asking it to become more. Another fragment comes through. Maybe not even a full idea. Just the beginning of one. A dim impression. A half image. Something almost known. And again, the stream receives it without asking for more. The outline softens. The middle stays unfinished. Nothing presses it into clarity. It can remain partial. It can remain gentle. And perhaps the body knows this softness too. The breath goes on under the vagueness. The chest can stay a little open around what has not become clear. Even here, nothing needs to tighten around the unfinished. You may notice how natural that is. So much of the mind passes this way, not in complete sentences. Not in perfect pictures. More like impressions moving through open water. And even another passing piece can come this way. More like mist above the stream than a finished thought. Near enough to be sensed. Too soft to be pinned down. It drifts there for a moment, and that moment is enough. Nothing about that moment needs to become more exact before it can be easy to be with. And once more, another trace appears. A mood with no story around it. A sentence that never quite finishes. A small image already fading at the edges. Let it enter the same slow stream. Let it blur there. Let it soften there. Let it be incomplete there. Nothing is wrong in the unfinished state. Nothing is missing that must be found tonight. Even uncertainty can float gently when it is not being forced to become an answer. So if thoughts come as fragments now, they can come that way. If they stay cloudy, they can stay cloudy. If they pass as soft impressions with no firm meaning, that too belongs. The stream keeps carrying them, blurring, softening, making room for what never needed to become precise. And you can rest beside that gentle vagueness with nothing to complete and nothing to hold still. And maybe, resting beside that gentle vagueness, you can sense the stream widening a little more. Wide enough now that a thought does not have to travel alone. One faint impression can drift near another. A feeling can pass through the edge of a half word. A memory trace can mingle with something that never becomes memory at all. And the water makes no hard line between them. No edges are needed here. No boundaries need to rise around what is passing. A thought can soften into the stream, and before it has fully taken shape, another current can move through it. They meet. They blur. They continue together. Nothing has to pause and separate itself in order to belong. You do not have to know which one came first. You do not have to know where one ends. The stream does not ask for those answers. It simply holds the mingling. Perhaps now, another soft movement appears in the same water. Not a clear idea. More like a mood passing through. And it brushes against what is already there. The mood and the fragment touch. overlap for a moment. Their edges loosen even more. Soon it may be impossible to say what belonged to one and what belonged to the other. And that can be easy. That can be enough. Nothing is lost when the mind stops drawing such careful borders. The breath can go on inside this wider openness. The chest can stay unguarded around it. Even overlap can be gentle when nothing is being forced apart. And again, an unfinished sentence may drift through. Only a few inner syllables. Only the beginning of meaning. It enters the same water where an older feeling is already floating. The words do not need to sit on one side while the feeling stays on the other. They can pass through each other softly. Meaning can remain open. Feeling can remain unnamed. The stream carries both in one slow movement. And perhaps this is how the mind has always known how to be, when it is not pressed into neat shapes. Open water. Soft crossings. No sharp dividing line. One trace blending into another, then into another still. Not confused. Not wrong. Only unseparated. So if thoughts overlap now, they can overlap. If they mingle before becoming clear, they can mingle. If the whole inner field feels more like flowing together than separate pieces, that too can be held by the same quiet stream. And here, in this wider water, thought can simply be movement without edges, without boundaries, and without anything that needs to be kept apart. can stop trying to keep anything sorted. Nothing here needs to be arranged for a while. Nothing needs to be followed to the end. Nothing needs to be made clearer than it already is. This can be much easier now. You do not have to stay close to any thought. You do not have to move away from any thought either. Whatever is passing through can simply pass through. Whatever lingers can linger. Whatever fades can fade. There is no pressure here to do anything with the mind. No pressure to settle it. No pressure to understand it. No pressure to keep track. If things feel loose, they can stay loose. If they feel unfinished, they can stay unfinished. If they barely form at all, that also belongs. You are not being asked to hold anything together. Just now, nothing needs your effort. Even the part of you that may still be slightly braced can soften its grip a little. Not because it must, only because it can. And if some part of you still feels a little held up, that too is allowed. Nothing in you has to settle all at once. The weight of your body can rest where it already is. The breath can warm the space inside the chest without being managed. I am here with you in this simpler place. And you are safe enough to let the mind be unorganized for a while. Safe enough to leave thoughts as fragments. Safe enough to let them overlap. Safe enough to stop checking whether you are doing this well. There is nothing to do well here. There is only this small easing. A little more permission to leave everything unarranged. A little more kindness toward whatever is still moving. This little lessening of effort. Nothing to hold together. You can let that be true for a moment. And then for another moment. The mind can be active or faint or somewhere in between. It does not change what is allowed. Everything can be exactly as it is. You can be exactly as you are. And if attention drifts, that too can be included without effort. Nothing to hold together. Only a little more room now. A little more ease. A little more lightness in simply letting this be. And you do not have to do anything with that lightness either. It can rest on its own. You can rest on your own too. If any small effort is still hanging on, it does not need to be pushed away. It may loosen when it is ready. And if it does not, you are still allowed to be here like this. Unfinished, unhurried, safe enough. I am still here with you. Quietly, kindly, with nothing more required. Nothing more required now. I am here as this stays simple. If listening stays close, that is all right. If listening becomes faint, that is all right too. If the mind keeps moving in soft fragments, let that be its way. If everything begins to thin out, let that be its way. If nothing much changes for a while, that is all right too. There is room enough for waking. Room enough for drifting. Room enough for sleep, if sleep comes. Nothing is being asked to happen next. No next step to find. No state to reach. No clearer shape to become. Nothing has to gather itself into anything more complete. just this open allowing. The body can keep receiving its own weight. The breath can keep arriving and leaving in its natural way. You do not need to stay with my words. You do not need to leave them either. They can be near or far or barely noticed. Room enough for all of that. Enough room even now for what stays unfinished. And for what softens on its own. I am still here in the quiet of that. And for whatever comes softer now.